أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We continue with the commentary on the Tafseer of Surah Nisa, and today we are with verse number 160 onwards. Verse 160 onwards. After Allah Azza wa Jal told us some of the issues with the faith and the belief of those who followed Isa alayhi salam, and some of the belief of those who thought that they killed Isa alayhi salam, they crucified him. Allah said, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُم. They have not killed him, they have not crucified him. And that's clear-cut, precise statement in the Quran, that Isa was never killed, was never crucified. خلاص, this is a faith, belief يعني. So a Muslim cannot say that Isa was crucified or Isa was killed. The debate is, did he die and then he was raised? Was he raised to start with the body and all that? Did he die on this earth? This is a debate among the scholars in that إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي. I am going to متوفيك, يعني here can be like you finish your job, or you will slumber, like you will doze off, or you will die. It can mean any. وَرَافِعُكَ means I will bring you up to me. So we know that Isa alayhi salam ascended, but ascended after what? Ascended how? That's the issue, debatable, right? Which doesn't make a big deal. Did Isa alayhi salam die, then was raised again and raised to heaven? Was he raised in heaven alive and he did not die until he comes back at the end? So we believe that Isa alayhi salam was not killed, was not crucified, and he is alive now, raised by Allah Azza wa Jal. He's alive now, and he will come at the end of the time. Those are the things that there is no doubt around it, there is no debate around it. But what happened between the time that he was on earth until he is raised to Allah, exclude the crucifixion and the death and anything possible. Yani he dozed off in a sleep, then the angels carried him up, or he was carried up straight, or he actually died, yani they found him dead, or he died and then he is raised after that and went up. So yani there are different, so but the strong one, that he was raised with alive, and he is just an opening happened in the ceiling and he went up in front of his disciples. That's a strong opinion, but we believe Isa alayhi salam, that he was there. We believe that they tried to kill him and crucify him. That was the plan. We believe that Allah saved him from that. We believe that Allah raised him. Now what happens in between, as I said, is not an issue. Allah raised him, that he is in heavens right now, and he will come at the end of the time. He will live on earth, he will get married, he will have children, and then he will die and get buried in earth. Alright? But he will come as a follower of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to prove to humanity that every prophet comes on the footsteps of the one before him. And if a prophet comes after, like if Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes in any of their time, from Nuh alayhi salam, Allah took the covenant, if the last prophet comes in your time, you're going to follow him. There is a covenant. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ مِيثَاقَهُمْ وَمِنْكَ لا وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ النَّبِيِّينَ لَمَا آتَيْتُكُم مِّن كِتَابٍ وَحِكْمَةٍ ثم جاءكم رسول مصدق لما معكم لتؤمنن به ولا تنصرن. يعني I give you the wisdom and I give that. If the Rasul comes to you and I tell you to follow, you're going to follow, and you're going to follow him, you're going to support him, and you're going to give him victory. قال أقررتم, يعني you take agree. قالوا أقررنا, yes. قال فاشهدوا أنا معكم من الشاهدين. I am witnessing on you. So every prophet, Allah Azza wa Jal take the covenant from him, that if Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes, Khatam al-Nabiyyin, you follow him. Alright? So that's why Isa alayhi salam will come to prove that practically. This is one aspect people don't, understand. So why Isa alayhi salam will come, and this ayah answers you in the Quran, right? That Allah took the covenant from Isa, from Musa, from everybody, from Ibrahim, from Nuh, that there is a last prophet. And that last prophet means no message comes after, no messenger comes after him. And if he comes in your time, you're going to do what? Follow him. And say, now I'm following you. It's like, someone is doing an assignment, then comes the higher rank. Okay? So if I assign like a lieutenant, and I tell him like, okay, go do this job, then a colonel comes and he will say, okay, colonel, you take over now. And then, lieutenant colonel comes, and then the general comes, then the field marshal comes, kullu ta'zim salam, everybody back off. He takes over, yani. So this is like when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, he's Khatam al-Nabiyyin. Khatam al-Nabiyyin, yani seal of prophethood. There is nothing after him, there is nothing else to be said. Every prophet comes with a message that only fit for certain people. All right? But this one comes, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes with a message that fits for everybody at every time. Of course, if he comes to any prophet, he bypasses everything now. So I came with what you say and more. So you come under me. So that was the covenant that Allah took over all the prophets. That's why when Isa alayhi salam comes, he comes as a follower. Not, he done his job at his time. And khalas, Bani Israel finished. Those who believe, those who not believe. Then when comes Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then the message of Isa alayhi salam is under Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to pray to Allah. And the religion is not a human thing. We fight over each other. If we want to worship Allah, then Allah said, now I'm sending Isa, now I'm sending Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So between Isa alayhi salam and Muhammad, there's no issue sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But the issue always with the people. They feel the religion belongs to them. يعني. إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. دين الله. وأن المساجد لله. Allah. ومن يبتغي غير الإسلام دينا فلن يقبل منه. Whoever seeks religion other than the deen of Allah is not accepted. From who? From Allah. So it's not up to me or you to say. It's like we was trying to see that Allah is the one who wants us to do this. So after Allah Azza wa Jalla said that they did not kill Isa alayhi salam, and he will come at the end of the time and he will be a witness against them, and he will tell them what you believed in me, what you believed about me was wrong, and here I am following Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then it will be too late for anybody to believe at that time. Then Allah said, فَبِظُلْمٍ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ هَادُوا, with the transgression of those who call themselves the Jews or the followers of Musa alayhi salam, حرمنا عليهم طيبات أحلت لهم. Because of their transgression, we forbade them from consuming many things which was pure for them. وبصدهم عن سبيل الله كثيرا. And because also of their preventing people. Lots of times they prevent people from going to the path of Allah. Not only that they're twisting or making wrong of themselves, but they are making sure that nobody follows the right. صد يعني prevent, or how you say it, صد. The goalie in the soccer game. Yeah, defending, deflecting. So like preventing something from passing through. Catching the ball or hitting the ball away so it does not get to the goal. So that is sadda. Sadda means someone going and he said, nope, detour, go the other way. Sadda. Yani if a person is standing on the street, you're trying to get, he said, nope, move on. You cannot come here. The sign. So Allah Azza wa Jal forbade many things on them as a punishment. Pure things, halal, tayyib, tayyibat, as we'll see in a minute. Tayyibat means pure stuff. Why it became forbidden on them? Because of few things. One, their dhulm, transgression to each other and transgression to others. Dhulm. Number two, sadd an sabilillah. They prevent others from coming to the sabil of Allah. وَأَخْذِهِمُ الرِّبَى. They eat usury, the interest, what we call interest. وَقَدْ نُهُوا عَنْهُ. They were forbidden to do it, but yet they did it. وأكلهم أموال الناس بالباطل. And they were eating the money of the people without right. Yani cheating and deceiving, and so they're charging interest on the loans and all this, right? Plus whatever way they can acquire the money of somebody, they will take it. Lawful or unlawful, doesn't matter. Corrupt. أكلهم أموال الناس بالباطل. أكل, food. And it is used for أكل الأموال. You do not have a tray which has coins and dollars and eat it. Now, but why Allah said أكل الأموال, eating the money? Means what money buys mostly comes at the end for what? Food. And at the end of the day, you say, I'm working to put food on the table. You are not just working to put food on the table, you're paying the rent, you're paying this, but at the end of the day, what is the direct means of survival? Eating, right? Yani if a person goes anywhere to survive, he wants a water supply and he wants food. صح? Even shelter comes after, yani. So everything comes at the end to survive, and you have to eat and drink. That's why Allah said, أكل الأموال. Yani eating the money means taking the money of someone بالباطل, not بالحق, with falsehood, with wrong, by cheating them, by stealing it, by playing tricks, by selling something which is not worthy. You can tell around you, yani, around us in this culture now, it's all based on what? How to take your money. No, it's not only based on money. By the way, a capitalist society is not something haram. It's actually encouraged. In the Islam, it's encouraged. Because, if the capital is used right by the people who are skilled and have it, it will benefit everybody. Socialist is not the solution, because someone hardworking, someone lazy, they cannot be equal. Okay? So you have to work. So Islam is a work-based, capital-based system. Be rich, but do the rights of Allah Azza wa Jal. Be as rich as you can. Be the richest person in the world. As long as you are doing it in halal, because you are going to need people, for sure. The more your money increases, the more people you will need. This is a rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. يعني Qarun, when he made money, he had to make safes. And the safes had what? Somebody has to carry the key. So, he has to find people to work for him. Somebody to build the safe for him. Somebody to guard the safe for him. Somebody to count the money for him. Yes or no? Whatever. You are going to buy more expensive clothes. That means people are going to manufacture more expensive clothes. That they want to package more expensive clothes. That they will make more expensive clothes. You see? You want perfume. People will compete to sell you perfume. And they will increase the product and they will make the product. I'm just talking to you about luxury. Yeah? Even luxury, you going to have industries based on what you want because you have money. So there is nothing wrong in that as long as it is what? Halal, and you are not transgressing others, and you are not eating their money with falsehood, haram. Yani. Subhanallah, if the Islamic system given time, wallahi, I swear by Allah, it covers everything. It does cover everything. If somebody was making in Britain the research that if the interest rate goes to 0, the economy will revive. Interest rate goes to 0, the economy will revive. Because once the interest rate goes to 0, you get a loan and you want to work and you work hard with it, right? And then also you don't get a loan, you get partners. And why do I loan you money? You come and tell me, give me $10,000. Why? Because I want to start a business. Well, okay, I'll become your partner. We lose it or we make it. So now you are decreasing this loan concept of I take a loan and then I pay back more. You want to avoid that, so you want to run away from it, and at the same time your heart is not in that. Because you always can get a loan. Well, it doesn't matter, my credit go bad, after 7 years it's going to come up again. I pay a few $100s and there are a few tricks in the books and people will bring it up. There are people now, they charge you money, depending how much credit you have. So if your credit score can be improved to become good, they make the research. Everything is like haram, they know the game. It's like a game, but is like people are playing gambling, they're gambling. It's part luck, but mostly a system. It's a system. They figure it out.
Yeah.
They know the odds. You know the odds? They know the odds. I have 7 people here. Most likely 3 of them has whatever. So how can I minimize my loss and maximize my benefit? So the more they sit on that table, the more experienced they become. And then they see the eyes of the people, the parent and all that. You find somebody winning all the time. You know, so those casinos is business. They are not there to give you good luck. That's what people think. Yani, they are not in the business of making people happy. Yani, giving you the jackpot. This is not their business. Their business, they calculated it really well. Okay? This is my business. The business size is 50 million, $100 million. I know that I throw this much money to get this much money. And I know how many people enter this casino, and I know that how many of them will bet, and how I know the game, yani, from above. So let people do, and each one of them thinking individually, but I'm thinking holistic. You see how the people get tricked? So Islam tells us, as long as you pleasing Allah and are not doing haram, be rich. Go ahead. Be a billionaire. Be rich. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf was a billionaire. Uthman ibn Affan was a billionaire. Rasulullah never stopped them and said, okay, that's enough now. Stop, retire, spend on the poor people in Medina. Never happened. Never happened at the time of Abu Bakr. He will always talk to them about akhirah. Right? In akhirah. Ya Abdul Rahman, you're going to come in akhirah crawling. You know, he's telling him like you are heavy weighted, right? So he's putting that fear in his heart so he can be generous in the dunya. But he did not tell him your money is wrong. He did not tell him stop. Enough. Because he stopped, the whole economy will collapse. You know, he gets, because he has that size business and he gets cheaper with bulk, and all the dealers under him, they get from him. If each one of those 10, 15 people go straight, they are not going to get the same deals. That means it's going to be more expensive on the retail, right? But he is getting big and he fears Allah Azza wa Jal, so he's not going to jack the prices for no reason. You get the idea? And then he teaches them lessons as well. He does teach them lessons as well. Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu, one time, people come to him and, or Abdurrahman ibn Auf, I think Abdurrahman ibn Auf. There was a caravan one time coming to Medina, until the streets of Medina started like having the vibration of the caravan coming. Yani thousands of camels coming, or hundreds of camels coming from Sham that carrying everything. So said Aisha said, who's this? They said Abdurrahman ibn Auf. She said, I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She said that he will crawl, will enter Jannah crawling, because he'll be accounted for his. He heard it, he cried, and he donated the whole thing. You understand now? So people are waiting for it to purchase. So they are coming to him and they said, we, the 5-6 people, the bigger ones, they're coming, okay, we will buy it from you. He said, no, somebody give me a higher price. He said, would give you this? He said, no, somebody give me a higher price. We'll give you this, somebody give me a higher price. He said, no way, somebody will give you higher than that. He said, no, Allah Azza wa Jalla give me a higher price. It's all donated for people. So he is teaching them also not to be greedy. Because now what happens? Their business is going to go down. Because his big donation, their business is going to go down. But he will not do that all the time, just to hurt them. When this thing happened, they know that the big guy, he can, donate and bypass you and will make the retail for everybody, then you're going to be in problem. So you have to fear Allah too. So it goes from up way down. So when you have a very rich person who is becoming richer while fearing Allah, it's actually good for the society. That's why I tell people, when you find someone who's from the people of the masjid, who fears Allah, who helps all the causes, and he's extremely rich, you have a big house and all that, make dua that Allah give him more. You should. Because in fundraising, they give more money. They find people who no job, work for them. You see? So this is good. Somebody who comes, Sheikh, I am unemployed. Okay, are you willing to do some of those jobs? Yes. Okay, this brother wanted to hire by hour or whatever. So You know, it's good or not good? It's good. So Allah Azza wa Jalla here is telling us that the problem is not that they were rich. The problem is that they're managing it wrong. So they are not helping people. No, they are enslaving people. And instead of hiring you to work for me for a salary, I tell you, you don't have to work. Here is $1,000. Go buy whatever you like, but pay me $50 a month. But instead of 20, you pay me 40 months. Instead of 20, you pay me 30 months. Take your time. So what am I teaching you here? Not to work, and whenever you need money, you're going to find some, but I got you from here. Even when you find job, you know that you have the job to pay me my money. You're not having the job which is yours. That's why he said, you know, I'm just working 2 shifts, Sheikh, just to pay my bills. See the expressions? So you are not working hard to have more dignified life. You are actually working hard to pay the debt of your slavery. You see the difference? Islam says no. You want money, akhi? I am rich. You want money? Right? You come work for me. I offer you the job. Take this here from here to here, and I pay you this much. You want to carry it some more? I pay you more. You want to put more hours? I pay you more, and this is a honorable job for you. Go feed your children and all of that. You want to increase? You increase more quality. You bring more ideas. You bring me more benefit to the business. You get more benefit. Also, if you don't want to work for me and you want to be independent, fine. I'll encourage you. I'll become your partner. You by work, I am by money. If we lose, we both lose. But it will teach me also not to throw my money anywhere. I have to get your proposal, and I have to read the study that you made, you know, and I have to see that you have a merit there. Like those, what they call them, Shark Tank. Yeah. But they are bad, you know, they manipulate. And they have the agreement among themselves. You take this one, you take this one. You can eat this one, I can eat that one. This is not good. So they come and say, you know, I'll take your business, I'll take 50% of your business, and I'll give you this loan. This is not right. I'm just talking about the concept. Concept here, you want my money, you have to earn it. You have to work for it. That's a good concept. But how they do it, this is not the, you get it, right? So it's very important. They transgressed. They prevented people from the deen of Allah. They took the riba. Riba, yani the money became the product. And instead of the money making a product, the money itself became the item. This is an item. The pen is an item. This is an item. The house is an item. This is an item worth money. Okay? I have the money, you have the item. Give me the item, I give you the money. This is the basic economy. Now, if I come from outside, a third person now said, I'm not interested in the money that you have, I'm not interested in the item you're buying. I have a better item, money. Do you want this iPad? Yeah, I want the iPad. Do you have $1,000? No, here is $1,000. Go buy your iPad. But you owe me $1,200. So now I did not sell you the iPad, I actually sold you the money that got you the iPad. So you did not purchase the iPad. You actually purchased the money that got you the iPad, which you did not have. The money you did not have. So you don't have the iPad, you don't have the money to buy the iPad. Now you have 2 problems now. You got the iPad, but you got a debt on you. Now if this is not there, you want the iPad, come work for me for a couple of months, right? So a couple of months you have to do this, I give you 500. Now, any sane person in their head, as long as they're not teenagers, but any sane person in their head, I'm working hard 2 months for $1,000. You go pay all of them for an iPad?
Of course not. No.
You see the point, right? So it teaches you something else. Prioritize. I work hard. Do I need the iPad? It's not worth it. Okay, let me go buy something else. Then you are going, it will teach the whole generation how to do things. But if you hand out to people, then it becomes a problem. That's why sometimes, rich people, they are smart. They just don't give handouts to people. They have the money, they can give $1,000 every day. I know someone here in Houston that he was giving his wife $1,000 a day.
A day?
A day.
Wow. I do one day. That's too much.
I swear to Allah. And she was not happy. She was not happy.
Not happy.
She was complaining.
Oh my God.
She was complaining. She said, I want half of his business. He's giving me $1,000. This is crumbs for him. This is nothing. She knows this is nothing. She said he at least gets multiple of that every day. Why he give me $1,000? He said she wakes up every morning. She find $1,000 in an envelope cash on the table before he goes to work. $1,000. Wallahi, I swear to Allah, I know the person like I see you now in front of me. I'm just telling you, like, there is ajaib in this dunya. Sometimes you think you're rich, but you're not. There are some people who are actually rich, yani. Okay, so they and she and she's not happy. Like, she is not happy. She gets $360,000 a year in her account, and he takes care of her car, of her clothes, of her everything. He said, this $1,000, go put it in your bank or have fun with your family or whatever. He's thinking, I will never account you. It's cash. I don't care where you put it.
What does she work?
No, she doesn't work.
Business. Huh?
She doesn't work.
No, I know. You said she's not happy. She wants half his business. Oh, she wants half.
She wants half. She said, I wanted to be a partner in the business. I don't want $1,000 a day.
She wants to be productive.
No.
I don't think this time.
Anyways, alhamdulillah, yani, they're good. She's better. She's, people go through stages. Right. People go through stages, and then bad advice, ill advice from others. Oh, he's giving you $1,000. $1,000 is nothing. He's like doing this and this and that. This guy flying private jets and all of this. What is $1,000? The $1,000 he can be giving it a tip to the captain of the. Yes, and people are not happy, so they kind of devour the life of somebody. عجيب يعني والله يعني it's anyways, the advice to that sister, don't share these kind of things. Right? Don't share it. You are unhappy, talk to your husband or talk to someone like a sheikh or somebody who will give you good advice. But don't share it with your friends. Your friends will destroy you, for God's sake. Who gets even $200 a day? Not $1,000 a day.
Friends will tell you to take it off.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, if he is going to give you $1,000, that means he can give actually more than that. That means he's just distracting you. Maybe there is another woman. Maybe there is that. And that's what happened exactly. Wallahi, that's what happened exactly. Yeah, people are like, عجيب. If somebody want to settle with his wife, they're in a divorce or something, and he say, okay, I'll give you this. Said, that if he gives me that easy, that means he has more. Let me sue him for more. Then she goes to sue him and find less. The guy actually was generous, wallahi. He was generous with you. Now you have less. See, that's why we call it طمع يلي إيه يا جماعة. So greed will actually erase every barakah. The greed takes the barakah away. Greed and barakah don't never come together. Barakah, blessing, right? Greed and blessing, they will never ever come together. And I teach kids like that. I tell them we are in the food, we are in the table, and each one get a share. If you are greedy, do you think you deserve more than others? Allah will not bless what you have. Even if you succeed to take the other one, Allah will not bless that either. And you actually transgressed someone now. So someone is now unhappy. You the whole equation basically. So greed destroys the equation. You see how many things? You took something which is not yours. You make the other person feel bad about you. You make the other person not like you. You yourself lost the blessing. You feel entitled. You become arrogant. And it becomes a nature on you to encroach on other people. And the whole society becomes messed up.
Yeah, but the most that we overlook is that Allah is displeased with us.
Yes.
That's the most important.
Do you know how Allah give barakah to someone who is not just to people? يعني Allah make you a little bit stronger. You start bullying people, how Allah will bless your health over here. You start becoming rich and you are enslaving people, how Allah will give barakah on you. You are more educated and you look down upon people, make them feel bad about themselves, how Allah will bless that knowledge, etc., etc., etc. So whatever ni'mah from Allah, don't abuse it. That's what this ayah is telling us. It's telling us because of their dhulm, because of what they did, Allah Azza wa Jal punished them in the dunya and He will punish them in the akhirah. وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ مِنْهُمْ عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. What did save people from that? Ilm, knowledge, and more of it. Lakin means except now. So they did all of this, so Allah made haram on them the good things. But الراسخون في العلم. راسخ means became firm. راسخ means became firm. راسخ يعني something firm. راسخات, the mountains, they are firm. So راسخ في العلم, a person راسخ في العلم means he is well grounded and well versed in knowledge. Not anybody just have knowledge, right? راسخ في العلم. Plural راسخون. Okay, so راسخ one person. When you say this sheikh is راسخ في العلم. راسخ في العلم يعني means it's not just information he's repeating. You go this way, you go this way, you go in depth, you go up, you go down, you will always find he knows what he's talking about. تقيل, heavy يعني. راسخ في العلم means he said that is a high caliber sheikh. You know, when you say now the heavyweights are coming. Right? Like when you start like some lectures in a conference or something.
Yeah.
Huh?
Rasikh, like a mountain.
Rasikh, yeah. Rasikh means something like deep rooted. Like deep rooted. So rasikh means the roots are so down on earth, means you only see a small tip on the ground, but this is rasikh, means something like really stable and grounded. So stable, firm, deep rooted, well grounded, all of this معناها الراسخ. راسخ in knowledge, that means knowledge for him is like their life, you know, it's in the bones. You know, when you see someone da'i, like da'iyah, da'wah, most of the people you see now in front of you all over the world, especially in North America, they are da'i, they are not scholars. They don't qualify as a alim, you know, because to qualify as a alim there are stages, there are phases. If you don't go through these phases, you will never become alim. And you have to go through the phases all the way. You cannot skip one. Okay? You understand me? So rarely will be a younger person. Rare, but it is possible though. That someone, Allah give them supreme intelligence, photographic memory, Allah give them a gift. So by in their 20s or their 30s, they become a alim. It happened in history and there are, but it's very rare. You know, when a child is like in the 1 percentile, كده يعني 1 in 100, that he's taller and bigger and all that, في كده يعني, there are knowledge like that. But cannot be راسخ في العلم except with age, subhanallah. راسخ في العلم means the experience added. So yeah, he's عالم, but راسخ في العلم or عالم رباني, that's the different title. عالم رباني means he is raising generations. So you are 20 years old. How are you going to raise a generation يعني? You need another 20 years of your life. يعني if I am 20 and I started and I achieved the stage of عالم, which is very rare, huh? How can I become عالم راسخ here? Or عالم رباني, how can I become? At least take a generation from 0 to 20. يعني means another 20 years, and there is no way before 40 years old that somebody can achieve that title. I'm just giving you. So most of the people are da'wah people. Du'ah. Da'i ilallah. Da'i ilallah, they have knowledge, don't get me wrong. يعني. And sometimes heavy knowledge, sometimes deep knowledge, but they did not get to the stage of this path. It's like different routes. Like someone in business management, and someone here is in advertisement, and someone here is in accounting. 3 paths, but all of them in the business structure at the end. But each one of them is doing what? Different thing. But when a person is the CEO of the whole company, all of them working under, and he knows exactly what each one is doing, that's not, you cannot say that he's a manager. لا, he's a manager and all the managers under him, they report to him and they know exactly what is the game. All the accountants under him and he knows exactly their game. And all the advertisement people under his game, and he runs the show. That means he has to have in-depth knowledge of everybody. You just don't, not like that. That's why at all times when a person became like a chief judge, he's not just appointed because someone knows him. La, he is the one that can bypass any judge, anyone else. That the chief judge or a chief imam or the faqih of his time, the mufti of his time. That means Sheikh al-Islam means nobody comes and bypass that. Yani nobody will say you are wrong for the following reasons. That's very, very rare, right? But he is the one who will actually fix other stuff. So راسخون في العلم means the ones who have the knowledge, who have the depth of the knowledge, who can analyze the knowledge, who know what to do with the knowledge, and they have the experience with it. So what those people do to avoid all of these bad things and لكن الراسخون في العلم منهم يعني from الذين هادوا, they have good people here. والمؤمنون يؤمنون بالله, يعني there are two groups, people of knowledge and people of worship, right? They're both together. يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك to Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, يعني because they reached the in-depth knowledge, they recognized Rasulullah once he came, and they had the ability and the courage to give up all their fame and all their leadership to become under Rasulullah. Like Abdullah ibn Salam and others. He did not think twice. That's the difference between a alim and a rasikh fil ilm. Because there were ulama. There were ulama. Safiya, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when she was a Jew, she said, I heard my father and my uncle, and both of them, they were from the big scholars of Yahud in Medina. And they are not normal people. And they are like rabbis, the big ones, big top-notch scholars. Yeah. So they, I saw like my uncle coming, and whenever he used to come, he used to hug me and play with me a little bit. And this time he come like something distracting him, something bothering him. He did not even notice me. Like she runs to him and he hug her and carry her and all that. She didn't happen. And then my father asked him, is it him? Like because he came from Rasulullah. Is it him? He told him, yes, it is him. He said, Ahuwa? Yani, are you sure it is him? He repeated. He said, yes. And he said, now what we're going to do? He said, we have to agree to disbelieve in him and fight him. So you see the alim, but did not benefit from the knowledge. Yes, but he's alim. يعني the ilm here, did the ilm save him? That he is not rasikh fil ilm. Rasikh fil ilm means deep rooted, means the ilm is not only something you have. No, it is in your blood, flesh and bone. Okay? If you take that out, you die. هذا راسخ في العلم. But راسخ في العلم means he have the ilm. He can abandon the whole knowledge on the side for some dunya. But he is alim, يعني he is knowledgeable. He memorized the whole Quran, he knows the tafseer, he has the certificate, PhDs, you can name it. But that's alim, right? He is a scholar in his field or in her field. But when the collision, it comes in collision course with a value, what is going to happen now? Rasikh means the knowledge is deep rooted. This cannot defeat it, right? Right? This will say, no, you stay out of the way. Because if you hit here, it's going to kill you. Because it is deep rooted, right? But the other one, he knows. If this hit here, he loses because the ilm is not deep rooted. فهمتم يعني ايه الراسخ? You understand what راسخ في العلم? راسخ في العلم means the roots are so deep. You cannot. كشجرة طيبة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء. يعني the date palm tree is one of the trees that cannot snap from the middle. It doesn't matter what the wind. It will never snap from the middle. Number one, the roots. Number two, it's flexible. It has lots of fibers. So it's flexible. The tip of the tree can touch the ground and it will never snap. So it will go like this all the way down, but it will never snap from here. Right? And it goes up again. That is راسخ. That is راسخ في العلم. Yeah, the wind can suppress you, can put you in jail, can even kill you, but will never uproot the knowledge. هذا راسخ في العلم. I'm emphasizing on that. Why? Because everybody now is called a scholar. Everybody now is called whatever. لا, هذا داعي إلى الله. To be a scholar راسخ, you have to be a scholar first. To be a scholar, you have to be a student of knowledge. To be a student of knowledge, you have to seek it. You have to show. Not staying home and YouTube and you listen to this. I listened to a few lectures and I got the online ijaza. Are you kidding me? This is not seeking of knowledge. I'm sorry, but that's not seeking of knowledge. I have my iPad here that has 9,000 books in it. 9,000 titles right now. It has 9,000 titles. Does that make me a scholar? No. Even if I read all of them, does that make me a scholar? Still no. If I memorize all of them, does that make me a scholar? No. A scholar, let alone راسخ يعني في العلم. It doesn't. Carrying the knowledge, it doesn't mean anything. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفار. It's like a donkey carrying all of that. Yeah, at least the donkey delivers it to someone else, but the human being does not deliver it to someone else. يعني donkey is much actually better in the ayah. يعني كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفار in one aspect only, that not benefiting from what they are carrying. But the human being is worse because he's not delivering it to somebody who can understand it. But the donkey at least carry the books from one place to another place. Then somebody will take, يعني he helped. But he did not benefit from the books carrying, and that's where the human is resembling the donkey. But the donkey actually is much better because the donkey is not asked to understand. Donkey is not required to understand. So who's actually here is criticized, not the donkey. The donkey is not the bad guy here in this ayah, you know. I'm just saying, يعني like the dog is like the tongue is out. Allah Azza wa Jalla said the person who does not follow the ayat of Allah that Allah taught him as a scholar, he's like a dog. If you push the dog, it will keep the tongue out. If you make the dog relax, the tongue out. If you put the food, the tongue is out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change. Yani. The knowledge did not change him. So here, the dog is not criticized because the dog, that's what they do. And you don't criticize someone for the things that they are created to do. Like, you know, this is what we do. You don't, somebody said, you know, by the way, you go to the bathroom. Okay, so what?
Fact.
كلنا بنروح الباثروم. يعني all of us have to go to the bathroom. This is not something you criticize someone with. But if you imagine someone who does not go to the bathroom and he acts like one, then he's criticized, right? They will tell him, you are acting like those who use the bathroom. But those who use the bathroom is their طبيعة, يعني, is their fact. But, you know what I mean? So like somebody said, you know, like they have a potty mouth. You hear that, right? Okay, what is criticized here? Not the potty, right? Potty is what is made for. Potty is in the bathroom. But to your mouth to become like that means your mouth has the problem. And I'm just talking to you like because sometimes we focus on what we make something similar to and forget why the reason. The reason is why you are saying that. Means your mouth should not be like this. Your mouth is pure. It's supposed to recite Quran. It's supposed to say tasbih. It's supposed to say dhikr. So when it is doing that, means your mouth is bad. Because this thing here is dirty for its own sake. It's created to be dirty. This is where we go put filth. Alright? You are not criticized. Actually, it's helping us. It is helping us. The toilet is helping us in some aspect. But to have a room as the toilet, مشكلة هذه. Then it is a problem. So الراسخون في العلم منهم يؤمنون والمؤمنون يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك يعني رسول الله وما أنزل من قبلك as they believed in the Torah and Injil والمقيمين الصلاة establishing the صلاة والمؤتون الزكاة they give the زكاة والمؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر يعني الراسخون في العلم number one وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ, the believers, those who believed in Rasulullah and what is before Rasulullah, and those who establish the salah from the Muslimin, and those who give the zakah from the Muslimin, and those who believe in Allah and the hereafter, أُولَٰئِكَ سَنُؤْتِيهِمْ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. We will for sure give them great reward. So the summary of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us that major sins wipes out the barakah. Major sins, yes. Committing major sin takes the barakah away from the individual, and if it is in a community that is not fixing itself, the barakah will be taken out from the community. And if it is humanity, the barakah will be taken out from humanity. That's a fact. What Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when people stop giving their zakah, Allah will stop the rain from benefiting them. And if it is not for animals, rains will not come. Rain will not come. Yani Allah send rain, rahmah for animals. We don't deserve. That's what the hadith say. Yani. And if zina spread, and the people are not denying it anymore and they don't care, Allah will send diseases that was not known in the generations before them.
HIV.
All new diseases every day. You know, STDs is like always new stuff. New stuff, and the bigger musibah, and they spread like wildfire. Why? Because there is no limitation. And if we know that the intimate relationship only happen between man and a woman with nikah, with marriage. Khalas, it is known now, right? Who married who? Now you're going to understand why Allah said, wali, two witness. Now you understand why, right? You get it now? See how we connect things together? Because some people say, why a man and a woman like each other? Why they don't go get married? You don't get the bigger picture. People have to know. They come to the walim, they eat, they know there are two witnesses. This man married to this woman, that child is his, you know? Yes. And nobody can just take that away from him. And he, as long as he says, this is my child, it's his child, regardless what she did, you know? And then, all this haram, they are limited. The doors are limited. So when we have a disease or anything like that, it's limited. Well, this man, is haram for him to commit zina. And this woman, is haram for her to commit zina. Yes? So if there is a disease, we treat it within this realm. But now everybody is open. First thing, a man goes to the clinic. Mostly a woman is the one who discovers, yeah, right? She gets some disease. And they ask her, from who? So if it's multiple, everybody has to be treated. Now imagine if every one of the multiple have multiple. Now you see the gravity of the situation? And most of the time they don't disclose everything. Especially if she's married. How she's going to disclose this to everybody now? And she's going to say to her husband, now I committed something and I get this, and you have to be treated too. You see the problem now? And guess what? He also is doing his own thing. So everybody's going to, you imagine everybody's going to sit in a room and okay guys, let's be friends and get treated now. Because you know, if one in this group that carries that problem, because they are all with each other, right? So now you don't know who's who now having the problem. So everybody has to be treated. If one of them only not treated, it will bounce back on everybody again. If they continue what they're doing. You see the beauty of Islam now? You know, sometimes we need to teach our kids and our young people and our university students, all that, these kind of concepts, because they have to get the gravity of the situation, you know. Yes, you look at yourself only, seek pleasure for yourself only, but you don't know how you're destroying a society. You don't know. And people do these secret affairs. And you don't know, maybe a man is marrying his daughter or his sister. Yeah, when he was 16 and 17, he was someone, and she got pregnant and she did not want to lose the baby or did not do abortion, and she get the baby when she's 16. She put him for adoption. Yes? So adoption. Later on, whatever happens, people move, everything, and this guy marries that after 20 years. Or the boy marries his sister. شفتم عرفتم الخراب اللي في الخراب يعني society is like collapsing. That's why we have values in our deen. You respect the values, you are saving humanity. When Allah Azza wa Jalla says, whoever kills a nafs, he kills humanity. Right? Well, that person, if he was killed before he gets married, how many people you actually killed? And if he was married and he has children and the children has children until Yawm al-Qiyamah كده يعني, how many people will be out of that person that was killed? Maybe hundreds of thousands of people. So you killed humanity actually. Right? And you give life to someone, you give life to humanity. Because sometimes also not actual physical life. A person is killed, his mom is heartbroken, his family now is this, they are never the same. And it will continue for generations to come. Never the same, because he was part of their life, and the life were interactive based on this person being part of it. So everything is destroyed. If he was married, his wife is never the same, his children never the same, right? And the whole family dynamics never the same again. So when you kill somebody, it's like when you give life to somebody, actually you give life to humanity as well. So same thing, when you violate the honor, and adultery is one of the worst thing. إنه كان فاحشة وساء سبيلا. كان فاحشة ومقتا وساء سبيلا. يعني it is فاحشة, it's مقت, Allah hated, and it is the worst of results. Sabil means the path. It's the path of darkness. Path of darkness. And a person will be never satisfied or satiated because he has a point of reference. She has a point of reference. People to compare. So, but when somebody marries someone, this is their experience. They don't have a point of reference to, you know what I mean? Like if somebody married, even if somebody have more than one wife, still it is very limited point of reference. So, my sisters, it's very, very important to know that major sins take the barakah away and brings the punishment of Allah. So zina will bring the diseases that was not there before. Not spending and giving zakah, it will prevent the rizq of Allah from coming through the rain and all of that. And when people transgress each other, Allah will bring tyrants to rule them. You see, you were talking to me before the class. People try to bypass the law and transgress each other. Guess what? Allah will send some bigger transgressor on both of you. Sometimes the transgressor we are complaining from is a punishment. Yeah, he's going to go to hell for what he's doing. But after he teach people a lesson first. All right? And always the case. When people don't establish justice among themselves, Allah will send an enemy to devour them. Yani, like, we are not agreeing with each other. Allah will send someone who will wipe all of us. Oh, that's what we say. Ya Muslimin, stop saying Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, this and that. Those are the times of luxury to differ on the madhahib. يعني. Stick to your madhab يا أخي خلاص يعني ريحنا. Relieve us from your صداع here, from your headache. You are Hanafi خلاص عرفنا you are Hanafi, go ahead for it. You are Shafi'i, go ahead for it. خلاص بس don't bother يعني. Don't judge everybody, oh is this and this, Hanafi is better. يا أخي, this is not the time. Alright? Time now is someone is going to jump on both of us because we are divided. Yani they waiting for that chance. At all the times, one time there was the Arab tribes, they were fighting with each other. Then Roman king, one of his advisors said, let's attack them. He said no, it's not the time. He said why? He said because they still have a value system. Value system is they debating among each other with the fiqh, with the hadith, with this and that. That's only because they are strong and safe, right? The minute you attack them, they will all be united because it's a bigger priority now to defend Islam and the land of Islam, right? They are not fighting on any bigger deals. They are fighting on like how you stand in the salah, how you do this, how you do that. It's okay, but if you attack them, jihad fi sabilillah, oh khalas, everybody's like will die. Then you lose. He said, strip them from their value system first, then yes. So if our fight becomes on the dunya, your madhab is different from my madhab, so I need to crush you, put you in jail or kill you, now it is a good time to attack. You understand? So the difference here is I don't want you to live. I'm so hateful that it is my way or no other way. If you do not follow my madhab and my thought and my school, I don't want you to live. So I would rather have the enemy come and take you. I will make an agreement with our enemy to come and kill you, but I become alone. And this is what's happening now. You know the three bulls, the 3 cows, ox, one black, one red, and one white, and they were together, going together, coming together, taking together. No lion can attack. You attack, they put their horn together, and you know the buffaloes in the Animal Planet, they come in the buffaloes can kill the pack of lions. They do. And it is recorded. Yani go to YouTube, you will find that one hit like this, the lion flies. They will gore the lion. Yani. No lion come close to this troop together. But what happens? He has to isolate one. Right? Once isolate one, khalas. All this group will not come back for one. Yani. They will run. So what the 3 happened, the lion, I want to eat. You know, I like beef. I want to eat. And then he goes and he said, I'm with you. I'm not gonna, I give up. I'll go eat the gazelles and stuff. But I will stay with you. Consider me part of your pack. I'll protect you and we'll help. We'll talk. So, okay. That's the first mistake, right? First mistake. And then he started talking, becoming friend now. So they trust. Then he start befriending each one alone. So he sees each one now what they want to hear. Okay. So he goes to the black one. He said, by the way, I want to talk to you and your red brother aside, not the white with us, because there's something that concerning him, we need to talk about. I said, okay. So he goes and they said, hunters are increasing lately. Statistics, yeah. The hunters are increasing in the forest. And me and you are both like game. People don't come only to eat. They hunt lion for trophy also. And you see, I am like, my color can blend with the dry grass, and your color is dark, but the white one is going to expose all of us. So actually, let's get him out of the pack. He said, how? He said, just leave me and I'll take care of him. So in the morning tomorrow when we go drink and all of that, just like go away from him, disappear without him seeing you, because they check on each other all the time, right? So consider that you're not paying attention and move away and I'll take care. And they did the plan and he took him on the side and he ate him. He killed him and ate. Khalas, and he comes back, said, taking care, taking care, you'll not bother about him again. What did you do? I finished it. Don't worry about the job. Job is done. And they stay friends. Lion is, mashallah, very nice advisor, good, and going around and warning them about hunters, and very loyal guy. And then, comes on the time and he told the black one, come on, I need to talk to you. A few months later, he told them what? He said, the red color is like the color of blood. And the hunters, they follow blood. So, they will think this is blood and he will attract. And then it will become a problem, So I told them what to do. He said, I'll take care of him too. Don't worry about it. So he abandoned his brother and the lion attacked him. The very next day, he comes to the black one now. Alone. He told him what? He said, I need to take care of him. He said, what do you mean? He said, what do you think I did to your white and red brother? And I ate them and I want to eat you now. He said, I know it was coming. So let me scream. So he started screaming. He said, I was eating when my white brother was eating. I was eating when my red brother is eating. And now I'm going to be eating. So the whole idea here is that when we fight with each other and it becomes a matter of who's on top, even if it means hurting your Muslim brother, that is the time somebody will come and take it from both of you. It happened with the knowledge. It happened with the advancement. It happens with ruling of the world. It happens with civilization. It happened with everything. And it's happening now. So pay attention that our differences, let's stay on the social level. Let's stay on the, dunya level kind of. But whenever a common goal that threatens our aqidah, our deen, our existence, our identity, now we're together. And that's what we keep telling each other in that. So don't be like, this is the benefit of those ayat. Don't be like that. So we stop here inshallah Rabbil Alameen, and the next time we continue with these beautiful ayat, and we are almost done with Surah Nisa inshallah. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make us among those who listen, follow the best of what they listen to. Alhamdulillah. تفضلي.